And then he says a lot of entrepreneurs like almost bungee jump into like this valley of all the issues and like questioning themselves, and then they breathe again. Like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I'm feeling that so deep right now. The ups
Oh
and
yeah.
downs. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love his stuff. He puts out great
Mm.
stuff. Um,
Yeah, I can't believe he's just like 32 or 33. He's really, really, really wise for
what
being
was his
young, I guess.
business again? Is it fitness?
Gym. Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
So
the guy's jacked.
initially, so he loves like he's a gym person. Then he wanted to open his own gyms, and then he went into helping other gyms sign up more people and stuff. And then now he's just they're more like consulting. And now like if you make 3 million or more a year, I don't know if it's revenue or profits, they want to invest in your company and like be part owner or something.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, and then they help you through it. So by like you don't even, well, I guess they work it and you pay them for what they do, but it's kind of a smart, like they want to be part of your business, and they'll make sure that your marketing's on point and all that, and they'll take you to like the next levels while they're getting a portion. I forget how much it is, like 40%, that they want to own 40% of your company. So then they get paid 40% of all the money that they help you make. Like
Well,
I
I
feel
mean,
like
some
the
companies need it, you
yeah,
know. Some
yeah,
companies need the experience, like they need fresh eyes. They need experience and they need capital to grow. And
yeah,
sometimes you got to give away your business, a little bit of your business for
yeah.
that. 40 is a lot though.
It's like it's like a good risk, I feel like, for them, because so they've done it so many times, and they don't just stay in the gym business. Like they've helped a cookie company, they've helped a photographer. So anyway, they're in a lot of sectors, I guess, business ventures, and they take it so seriously, and just seeing how involved they are, like super cool. But then
Oh yeah.
they're also, I feel like him and his wife, they do a lot of like it's like not necessarily tips for couples, but a lot of relationship things, because they're quite a unique couple. Yeah, I guess they're both entrepreneurs, no kids, and yada yada yada. So they put out a lot
They
of
don't have
content about
kids.
that too.
Oh
Anyway, yeah, they
yeah.
don't have kids.
I love their content. Like a lot of his stuff that he says, like I identify with, like how sometimes
Mm,
entrepreneurship can be very lonely, you know, especially in the beginning because you don't have the track record or really the community or the tribe yet.
yeah, yeah.
And you're still trying to figure it out yourself. You're still trying to figure yourself out. Like I've grown as a person through business. You know, like it's helped me a lot. Um, learned so much, and what he's doing is actually pretty smart. It's basically what like Blackstone and BlackRock and these guys do, you know, except they do it through public, you know, public trading
Hmm.
and private too. But um the what Ranson does is that too, because I asked him like, how's his business and stuff. Ranson's my mentor in Vegas, and um, he, you know, he's not even in. He said he's not even in cannabis anymore, really. And I asked him, what are you in? He's like, I'm in real estate. So I was like, okay, what type of real estate? You know, so he's still in cannabis, but it's like he has like the McDonald's play going on, you know, so and it's I'm learning so much. And what the main thing that I'm trying to learn and that he's trying to teach me piece by piece is the the structure of how he does business, basically. And it's everything in how you you build systematically, but once you have it, you can go into any business, any industry, and plug the same formula in, right? And I gotta be honest, man, like I'm not the fastest learner. Layla can vouch for me. Um like I'm slow learner, but and I don't
Huh.
comprehend well. Layla, hold up.
I said no comment.
Behave. Uh, But when I do grasp it, I think because I'm a careful learner. Like I'm the guy that has to go back and read multiple times. I don't catch it on the first time. I don't connect the dots right away. I think it's because I'm careful. And but once I do learn it, I know it so well that I can teach it well, or a little better. And then I learn through that too. So, but these concepts are not easy actually. Like that I'm learning from Ranson, because you would think it's easy, but a lot of the concepts are intangible. It's not tangible. Like how we talk about a lot of times, where it's like, okay, here, use this service provider. Sometimes it's that, like he'll give me a contact or a relationship that he has, but a lot of the concepts are intangible. So I'm still grasping it. And if if it fits well with you guys, like I'll share. I would love to share because it helps me like when I have to think back through. Teaching helps you learn, right? And it also helps you find out how much you don't know of a certain area, right? So yeah, if you guys don't mind, maybe every now and then, like stuff that I feel like I can share, then I'll definitely share, because I'm still trying to grasp this stuff. And it's very interesting. I didn't realize how much I didn't know about entrepreneurship and business until I started talking with Ranson. And then it also confirmed in me how much I do know, because many times, like, I won't have to say anything. I'm just listening and I'm asking questions, and like his answers are just piercing me, because like I told Layla the first time, our first official session, because Ranson is my friend, so I've had many of coffees and lunches and stuff with him. But this is different because I wanted to be intentional that, hey, I'm your mentee, and I and you're my mentor, like, so now it's different. And I feel he when I speak with him, I feel understood. Like, which is sometimes kind of rare because people don't understand your problems, right? Like your family, a lot of your friends, they definitely can't fix your problems. But a lot of times you can't even really talk to them because they can't identify with, maybe it's leadership, maybe it's a certain part of the business that needs help or focus, or maybe it's you, right? So, or maybe it's all of it. But yeah, so anyways, I feel understood when I sit down with him, and I think you guys would too. And I really I want Layla and Alex are probably start sitting in on some of them as well with us, so we learn together, right? So Ranson, yeah, that's his name. It's so funny because he likes to stay low key, like, yeah, and but he's a local boy doing big things, and bigger than I actually thought. Now that I get to ask questions intimately. So all right, does anybody have any leads, needs, good deeds to share?
It's working to expand its production to meet demand,
Layla.
bring the cost down.
I can share.
Stop the
Kevin,
TikTok.
Shannon, and I have several deals that we're looking for private lenders on. One mainly, we closed on a flip, I want to say a month ago. And so we started demo and all that, and we didn't fully raise for it. So we want to offer opportunities for that. And I prefer to sign for 12 months because I'd rather overachieve than sign for too short and then keep on asking for extensions. So we have that, and then I have a couple and maybe I can, if we have time, I can ask about this. I have a couple of private lenders who had emergencies come up and at like 6 months or 7 months need to refinance out rather than the 12 months. Does that happen a lot? Because I've had quite a few this year in 2023.
Well, to me personally, it happened a lot when I first started out. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe it was coincidence. But if I could peg it towards something, I think is just I didn't set proper expectations, right? I didn't, and then I could have followed up and kept them updated more, like instead of waiting for their call, I'll call them first, and I think if that was the case, perhaps, but sometimes it's, people just have emergencies. Like that happens every now and then, with us too. The other thing that we do, and I've said it many times, is we pay our investors monthly, and that helps because it helps with their cash flow. It helps show that their investment is working. And then when emergencies come, it's also a little easier for you to return the capital, because you're not having to pay a bigger lump sum with accrued interest. So there's pluses and minuses to paying monthly, right? And not paying monthly. You're still paying no matter what. So it's,
Yep.
are you going to pay it in increments, which sometimes is safer, or are you going to pay it in bulk, right? Which
Yeah.
sometimes is dangerous too, even though you pay it at the
Mhm.
end, right?
Yeah,
So
the few that I've had it's like monthly payments, and it's some are big, some are not, and it's fine because I usually use cash flow from my properties. This one is really like she had a family emergency. They need to help this family member, and she's like, I really need my funds. But that was one of the, I think, three. Maybe it's not a lot this year, but I think she's my third one this year that needed the funds before their 12 months. And it's not a large amount at all,
Mhm.
so it's okay. But
But will it, like, can you
someone,
do it though?
so
Can you do it, or will it put the project in jeopardy?
well, not in her timeline. Like she really needed the fund. Like I think like the family member was facing something big, and she didn't get into details, and she needed the funds within a week. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. But she's like, oh, I'm gonna refer someone to you because I work with him, and he's wanted to do some private lending. So I'm like, yep, I'll talk to him. Um, Someone else had told me that in their promissory note, if the lender, I guess, breaches the note, meaning they don't go all the way to the term, um, they'll pay less. Like if they promise 12%, they'll pay 10% APR or something. I was like, what? I never thought of that. And I don't, I'm not saying that I want to do that. But I just felt like, I mean, is that, I don't know, I had never heard of it ever at all, to like end up paying them less than what was promised in promissory note. And I didn't, obviously my promissory note doesn't have that kind of language in there, but his did. He's in California, so I don't know if it's different there also. But yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't.
I think
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad to put that in the verbiage in the note, and then it gives you something to talk about, like, hey, if there is an emergency, like, it's no problem, we'll do our best to pull your funds out, but there is a exit fee, 1% exit fee,
Oh, okay.
something like that,
Okay.
where
Okay.
they get charged for that. In our fund, like, if you invest as an equity investor into our fund, and in our fund, you're locked in for 2 years. And but if you need to exit and we execute on that, then there's a fee to that. Yeah. So, and it's to put
Oh,
small guardrails in place, because when an
okay.
investor invests, it's an agreement on both sides. There's trust on both sides, right? Like, that you're not going to need the money, and want to pull the money out prematurely, then that's not honoring the agreement, right? And that causes a lot of disruption. It costs money to do that, and it could put the project in jeopardy, right? So, and we have to be fair to all partners and investors on the deal. So sometimes the answer is, I'm so sorry, I cannot, right? I just can't, we can't liquidate right now. Like, and that's what they
Okay.
sign up for. So I think it's just like our team where, you know, when the guys are out there talking to investors, what we've learned over the last few years is that the most important thing is to one, qualify, right? Is this person ready to invest? Like, or are they going to be a headache, you know, because they're not ready yet. You know, this is all the money they have. Like, never take someone's all the money they have. Like, that's just recipe for disaster for both sides. So, now, well, I just lost my train of thought when I went off the rails, but um,
You talked about properly, like doing your due diligence as a borrower, like just making sure they're ready and
oh yeah,
for
so
that term
thank
and
you.
all that.
Yeah, on both sides, it's trust on both sides, right? And we've had
Yeah.
instances, yeah, where there's emergencies, and fortunately, we can, you know, we're structured differently because they invest as debt to our fund, and our fund holds a lot of cash. We're very cash heavy, and you know, so we can typically return capital fairly quick. But if I couldn't, then hopefully we qualified, and the second one was set expectations. That's what I was going on.
Setting expectations.
Like if you don't set the proper expectations, then that will get you in trouble. You know, if once things start to, and preferably there's a paper trail, right? Like
Oh
emails,
yeah.
even
Yeah.
text messages, just confirming, you know, even if it's the deal is done over the phone, like I'm still a handshake guy, you know, but you want to have it in writing, right? So even
Absolutely.
if you strike a deal in principle over the phone and then just send an email out confirming, right? Hey, just want to confirm that this is what we agreed upon. Then we have a paper trail. But
Yep.
how much are you looking for, Tay, for yours,
Um,
for the new one?
so one refinance is 20,000, but for the new deal, we need 25,000 to
Oh,
get,
okay.
yeah.
That's not-
So we basically used our own funds, but I like to have our own cash for, especially for these deals where we got to close in 2 weeks and stuff, and we have that. I don't need to raise or, you know, wait 3 months for people sometimes to be ready to invest. So I like to keep our reserve. I have to have that cushion for anything, but also sometimes for new deals. So that's what I'm trying to replenish now.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Is this a fix and flip
yeah,
or?
yeah. Fix and flip. Obviously, Kiko's the hard money on it, and yeah, it'll be. I don't think it'll take 12 months, but we're doing 12-month notes. 12 months note right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's got some cash sitting around, want to play ball with, hey, then hit her up.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
And thank
thanks,
you for
Tay.
the tips on. I'll think about adding that language maybe in my P notes.
Yeah.
Mahalo.
In fact, we should probably look at ours too. It's been a while. Yeah, Layla. Probably should look at our notes.
I may or may not have seen your guys' P notes and have been inspired by it.
It's all good.
Somehow it got to me.
Yeah.
It's
That's
probably an old one. I'm sure your P notes are much more elaborate now.
yeah. No, it's about time. Like, kind of got to review them. I think pretty outdated. I think so. I wouldn't. Yeah, I would have your own attorney look them over too, and then send it our way. Save us like $1,000. Oh, attorneys, right? Gotta love them. Anybody else have any leads, needs, good deeds?
I do. It's Anne.
Hey, Ann.
Hey, I have a couple confessions. First, I threw on a different shirt because I had a pajama shirt on. Also this shirt was already worn, so I just grabbed the first thing I saw. Second, I have last night's mascara on because I'm a hot mess and I was exhausted. So, okay, I feel lighter confessing all that. So thank
You
you.
look fabulous.
Thank you everybody for being there for me. But anyway, I have something that's not real estate directly, but it can be. I have also, we're in a judgment-free zone here. I have an annuity. Okay. I panicked and opened one because got pregnant at 42 and it was the pandemic and I didn't know anything about real estate at the time. So I want that money out. Does anybody have any experience in cashing out their annuity before 59 and a half? If so, could you please contact me? And just a little help. I'm actually okay with whatever penalty. I've been doing a little research. But this is not my forte, obviously, because I opened up an annuity. But I understand the taxes and penalties. I understand also that it's not so significant that I can't make up for it lending it. So
Yep.
I'm okay personally with the front end hit, if you will, but this money will make me way more money lending it out over the years and leaving it in the annuity. So it's only, I should say only, because in real estate terms, $23,000 isn't a lot, but it's only $23,000. That can go a long way lending that. So I want that out. So if anybody has experience with that or knows somebody that I can talk to, because I kind of want to be armed with information when I call my place so that they don't try to schmooze me into something else.
Right.
So if anybody wants to help a 3-day-old shirt, last night's mascara girl out, please reach out to me. I will leave my information in the chat. So I appreciate it. And everybody, we're almost through the holidays. We're doing great. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're the best, and you look great. I don't know what you're talking about, but
Can you do a self-directed IRA, or would it not be worth the annual
Actually, I
fee?
have a self-directed
Yeah.
IRA and I'm lending out of that. So I want more money to lend.
Do you have to open a
I want more
separate
money to
self-directed?
lend out. That's going to make me more money. You know, life has ups and downs, and my husband and I went through a time of not having a lot of income. So we stopped making these payments to, to our investments or really decrease them. So I really want to accelerate that by pulling this money out. That, again, only 23,000. That sounds bad to say, but that 23,000 is going to do nothing in this annuity that I want for other goals. So
What would you do, Corey?
what is the tax hit that you take? Is it 30%?
Actually, I think that, again, I'm not an expert, but I just need 2 more articles to read and I think I'll be an expert. Isn't that how it goes? I think it looks like a 10% hit, but it also depends on, right.
Yeah, that's
So
not.
right. So I'm okay with that hit or whatever people say to scare you into keeping your money somewhere. So I have to look at, as a matter of fact, I just pulled it out of my file cabinet, no judging, I have paper things. It's my annuity to really see exactly what kind I have, because I think that there's certain penalties with certain ones, and ones that you can pull out or ones you can take a loan against. I don't know exactly which one that I have. So don't judge me on that either. So that if anybody has any experience with that, I would love to know before I make a phone call and have them say to me, well, we suggest, type of thing.
Yeah. I don't have experience with that, but I do know that if that's the fees and the penalty, that's it. Well, 10% plus some, I'm assuming some fees, like, to me, it's worth it. But it is hard to turn 20,000 into $1 million. It's easy. It's easier to turn like $1 million into like 10 million. But you have economies of scale working against you in this. So I think you'd have to, for sure, you got to make up, let's say you end up taking like a 20% hit on pulling it out. So you would have to make that 20% up at some point, right? So putting it in a worthwhile investment in real estate, I think will probably want to be one of your best options. It's just, it might move slower until you build it, and then it could, start steamrolling. So I think it's the right move. I mean, I'm biased and because I guess I'm in real estate, right? My investments are in real estate. I know I don't have an advantage in the market. In fact, it's very unfair. And I don't get the high returns in the market, like I get the low returns. And in my eyes, it's very high risk. So real estate, and you're part of all the groups too, right? So like all the you see people, I'm sure you can jump into something to start building that safely. So does anybody
Hey,
know how to do
And
that?
can you maybe roll it over? Have
That,
you tried to
that's
look
one of
into
the
that?
things. Yeah, that's one of the things I have written down to ask about where I can do some sort of movement or rolling before I were to pull that out for sure. Because I do
Yeah.
have a self-directed IRA, and I also have another Roth IRA. And my husband has some sort of 401k, and I think we're both on this annuity. So I feel like we have some other options before we do hopefully have other options that we can take better loans out against, if you will, to
Yeah.
lend than that kind of stuff. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that I know certain buzzwords that are used. We love our finance guys, but maybe certain buzzwords that are used to keep people like me who aren't totally versed in all this stuff
Right.
that they might use to just keep me there, if you will.
Yeah, they'll absolutely try. That is their job, and that's how they make their money.
And that's their
But-
job, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
But I would
Um,
definitely try to see if you could roll that over into your self-directed 401k. That would be your best option. This way you won't get taxed to death. Because the taxes that you can pay on that might really surprise you. It might make you think twice even about doing anything with it.
okay,
So
Okay.
I'm not really familiar with annuities that much, but I have a trust. I have a self-directed 401k. I'm familiar with all of that stuff. But the annuity, yeah, I would just ask them if you can roll it over.
okay, that's definitely something I have on my list. I appreciate that feedback. Yeah, and Corey, going back to what you said, in the Wisconsin market where I hope to maybe acquire a couple flips, it's not expensive there. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
that even using my $20,000 with somebody else to get larger chunks of capital to keep rolling this snowball just a little bit faster is what I'm envisioning. And I just feel like when I look at my annuity payout, if you will, everybody sit down and don't laugh in my face, turn your cameras off. But like the payout every month right now is guaranteed $176 a month.
76.
Okay. I'm not,
Yeah.
that's a tank of gas maybe when I'm 59. I don't
Right.
know. But so I just feel like $20,000 could do better for me later if I'm snowballing it faster than $176 a month.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's no question that you're thinking around the right lines.
Okay.
And I think most of us would agree, depending on the tax hit that you're gonna take. But I think as you're talking this over, I know the right guy to send to you. He was on here, Austin Dean. He's
Oh,
Waystone Advisors. Yeah. Him and Pete, we actually work a lot with their investors too. They refer their investors to us for alternative investments. And the reason why I like Austin and Pete is because they're not your standard financial advisors. They don't just throw your money, in a mutual fund and put it, in the market. Like they actually take time to understand your situation and, they do put people in the market depending on their tolerance for risk and how fast they want to build and this and that. And but they're the first guys that I've seen that have actually taken advantage of some of the most powerful investment vehicles out there, like life insurance policies, and S blocks, right? So they leverage their policies so that their policies are still earning them compounding interest while they're still able to utilize that capital in a form of leverage, right? And with that leverage, maybe they borrow against their policy at 4%, 5%, whatever it's at now. 5%, and then lend it out at 12. Now you're making a 7-point spread, but then you're also accruing interest on that money that's in your cash value in your life insurance policy if it's
I'm doing
structured
that right
properly.
now. I have a whole life that I bought when I was like, I didn't know what I was doing at 19. I was just like trying to be cute and whatever. But I did do that at like 19 or something. I bought a whole life, and now I took out a loan against that, lending that out, and it's still accruing interest. So I just want to do better with this annuity because I know there's better, because I'm doing things with other pots of money that are better than this annuity, if you will.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely. And
trying to
imagine
do
if
things.
you put it down on a down payment for a fixer, right? A buy, fix, sell play in Wisconsin, right? And maybe you're partnered, maybe the net profit's 20 grand, you guys exit, you make 10 grand. That's 50% return, so already it's worth it, right? You do that a couple times before you know it, it's 100 grand. And you do a few more times before you know it, the thing's 200. And so I agree. Like I'd get that money out as fast as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
let me put you in touch
Thanks,
with
everybody.
Austin. Yeah, I'll send you his info, Ann.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks for listening to the Ann Show, everyone, and appreciate it.
We love the Ann Show.
It's a hot mess. Bring your oldest t-shirt and last night's makeup.
Hey, Corey, what's a S block?
Okay, so S Block, they're leveraging their equities. So if they have money in a certain account or riding the market, I don't know exactly what they're leveraging. It's a securities backed line of credit, and it can be you're basically leveraging your equities. And I don't know, maybe they have stock in a certain company, or I don't know what Austin has them doing, but their money comes leveraged as an S Block.
Yeah, speak with
Securities back
Austin.
line of credit. Yeah. So before I started working with him, I wasn't aware of like how they worked, and I was aware of it because I knew that's how like these guys get away with not paying taxes, they leverage their stock, right? And like Elon Musk's, his net worth is what now? In the hundreds of billions, right? Like he doesn't have that in cash, right? So, but the large institutions, they know how solid his company is, they know how valuable his equity is, so they'll give him a loan against his equity in Tesla. Maybe they'll give him $1 billion, right? Cash, and it's in a form of a debt, so he doesn't pay taxes on that, right?
So,
Like that's crazy, right? You have that much wealth that these banks would give you that kind of money and as a loan, and it's actually a smart play for them. They're giving him $1 billion in a loan and making interest on that money, but their collateral too is like in Tesla stock. So that's a safe bet, right? And so anyways,
he deserves every penny of that money too, man. He's doing good stuff.
oh heck yeah.
Man. Can I speak with Austin and Pete? Do you have contact information for those guys?
Yeah, I'll send them to you guys too. You know what? I'll put it in the chat. Actually,
Sure.
Maybe Layla, if you can help me with that. Otherwise, I'll put it before we log off.
The most recent one,
Jody's asking too.
the most recent one we invested in is Drive Planning. Have you seen these guys?
Drive Planning. No, I haven't heard of them.
If you go to driveplanning.com, they have a bunch of different investments on their portal. One of them is called the Real. It's a real estate backed investment. It pays 10% every 90 days. You get no write-offs, no K1, none of that. It's straight income. But every 90 days, you get 10% of whatever you give them. It's pretty cool.
And what is their what do they use it for?
I guess they're buying real estate with it. I don't know where they're doing the deals or this or that, but it's essentially a hard money loan. And I think the minimum is only 20 grand. So we gave them 55 and things about to pay out for the first time right now. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm stoked. If it's not a Ponzi scheme, it's real. So
Right.
We'll see, but you know, there's always that chance, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I never heard of those guys. Austin and his partners, they've been solid so far. They refer us a lot of investors, you know, and finally we're trying to find a way to like get them compensated, you know, and they're like, it's okay, but turns out it's not easy to pay people for for helping sometimes, you know, like you want to give something back out of the goodness of your heart, but this regulation, you know. Yeah, they can't take money sometimes, but I think, and they're so like good, you know, they're by the book. I'm like, can I pay your mom? But yeah, they're entrepreneurs and they have tolerance for risk, which is what I like. As they're not just your average financial planner, yeah. Hopefully they're okay with me giving their phone number. I
Oh.
don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, sorry, I put it in the chat.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Do you want to ask him if it's okay for us to call him first, or?
Nah, I'm sure
No, I'm
it's
sure
fine.
it's fine.
Yeah.
I do have one other question, Corey. So we signed up with Templeview. We got the loan through you guys for this house, and we're not going to be able to close the refinance on this property until February because we accidentally got a 30-day late on one of the auto pays for one of our investment properties. And so you can't get that all in one first position HELOC with CMG if you have a 30-day late. Devastated us. We're so bummed. So I'm having to apply for an extension with Templeview. And I was
Wait,
just
you're in a
wondering,
bridge loan, right?
what's that?
Are you in a bridge loan?
I believe it's called the bridge loan.
So
Yeah, I got it. from you
when is
guys.
the maturity date? Or it's
The-
extending, right?
Well, it's the first of the year is the 1 year mark. I'm supposed to have already had it refied by 5 days from now or whatever.
Okay.
And I'm not going to make it. Obviously, we have to wait until it's been a year for this 30-day late to go away,
Right.
and then we can refi. So I'm applying for the extension with Jonathan over at Templeview, and I'm working as fast as I can with Adam Pugmire over at CMG to get the debt repositioned. It's a first position HELOC that's adjustable, which I really like, because then I won't have to refi again in like a year when the rates drop and lose another 40 grand,
Right. That's one time where the adjustable rate might work in your favor, yeah? That's crazy.
It's a killer loan if you've ever seen it. If you take all your
Adjustable rate
capital-
HELOC. First
Yeah,
position.
it's first position HELOC, looks kind of like a cash out refi. You can use the HELOC 80% of the value of the property for whatever. So you can run it all the way up, pay it down, and it's interest only payments. So that's the loan we really want, but unfortunately I can't get it till February. So I don't know if you have any ideas of, ways
Well-
to get the extension pushed through. I'm working my best to get them to
Maybe we can let me look into it, Roger. Who are you working with? Was it Adrian? No.
yes, yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Adrian's- so
We're currently doing that with Templeview for one of our properties. It doesn't seem that hard. Like you just have to like submit your stuff. Like
Maybe
I
we
don't
could just-
know.
Submit a letter of explanation. And I don't know if it's gonna be as simple as that, or it might be something that they can't get around, because if it's recorded there and it's in the guidelines, like they don't step past their guidelines, like they
Oh,
cannot.
yeah.
So
And it's okay. It's only a month or two away, so we're fine. We got to get the extension though. And word to the wise: don't ever get a loan from United Wholesale Mortgage. I tried setting up that auto pay 4 times. It failed. I caught it the first 3, and then
Yeah.
that 4th time, man, it failed, and then it hit 30 days. They didn't call, nothing. It was
Dang.
yeah, dude, it
Okay.
was cool.
It could be just a letter of explanation, hopefully, Roger, and then maybe we can just rock and roll and just go refi. You can just go refi. So I'll look into it.
Um, CMG is pretty strict. Well, have you any of you guys ever got a
Oh,
CMG loan?
that's right. CMG is the one. 'Cause I know
CMG
I
That's the
haven't.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so their restriction is because of they see the 30-day, and you can't like send in a letter of explanation. No,
I
damn.
tried. I
Okay.
tried with I tried with United Wholesale Mortgage. Like, dude, you guys, it's all right
Have-
here. You're
Have you talked to our
paying
guy Chris?
Chris.
Chris Allen? No. Oh, I think you
Oh,
would get
that's your
along
friend.
well with.
Chris Allen, the lender, right?
Yeah. Have you talked to him?
Yeah. No, it's been a long time.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have Chris reach out to you, and then because
I think the extension should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Basically, there's gonna be extension points.
10
that
grand.
we're gonna pay.
Yeah, it's gonna cost me 10 grand.
damn. What is that? Is that a point?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, but it's got a cap. It's a percentage up to a certain level. And so for a 90-day extension, it's gonna cost us 10 grand, but we don't have a choice. Like,
Right.
it
Yeah.
happens when you play ball, dude. You get hit in the face sometimes. You know, it's just how it is.
Yep. That's
Maybe you
true.
can
man. Ain't
negotiate
that the
it.
truth?
Maybe you can negotiate it. Take out those negotiations.
That's
The-
a shit.
Extension fees have been going up, man. Yeah, and we play no role in that. So,
Yeah, we don't have any
I-
control of that.
but what I think I'll put you in touch with Chris, Roger, because that's our more conventional arm, and Chris is great, and I think you'll get along real well. He's a surfer too, but he Pac Bay is they're a different type of money. They're a little bit more aggressive, a little bit closer to the non-QM side, but our rates are very good, and so I think, and Chris is the right guy to help navigate a situation. So I'll put you in touch with Chris.
Gotcha. Thank you. And I have his number here.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can give him a call,
He's a good dude.
but I'll make sure to at least give him heads up.
I
Um,
I didn't think he had this product. Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't. Yeah, because you know what? Honestly, HELOCs is something like we do HELOCs, but it's not something that like we focus on or have done recently. So, but it doesn't. He could possibly refer you to somebody too. Other than that, let me go look at that property and see what we can do. Maybe make some phone calls. The extension is probably no way around that. We might have to get that, but at
It
least
is what it- It's okay.
Yeah.
We're still got plenty of money in the equity of this house, so we're cool.
nice.
We're cool.
Yeah. Wait, so you still have the two, right? The one next door?
Yeah, we have the house 2 doors down that we've owned for like 10 years, and now we're living in this duplex.
Right.
And it's awesome. We
I am so
love-
happy for you, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I rented the other side to this super nice family with 3 kids, and they just play with my daughter. It's like instantly my daughter has like siblings. It's just so cool. They're just good kids. Like I never would have thought a duplex with another family living on the property would be so fun, but with the right
Wow.
fit, it's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome. I think I'd have a lot of fun if I lived next to you, Roger.
We just got a ice bath, so we've been ice bathing
Oh,
every
wait.
day. Have you guys
Layla.
tried that?
See, Layla?
Have you tried it, Corey?
Oh, okay. I don't want to talk about this. Guys, I found something out about myself a couple weeks ago. I'm not proud of it.
Both of us. I was there
Oh,
too.
we were in Vegas. It was like 11 o'clock at night. We have an Airbnb, right? So it's me, Sheena, Layla, and Alex sleeping in a 4-bedroom, like 2-bath. And then whose idea was it? I don't know. Somebody, I think it's Sheena's idea.
Tina,
She like to go do
Sheena's
the
a
cold, like a
monster.
cold plunge in the pool. It's like maybe it was freezing then. It was like 40 something maybe outside. Like to me, that's freezing, and but
enough.
Vegas cold is different. Like a
So-
Vegas cold kind of hits me different. Like it pierces me. Like Layla described it the best. It's like it was in my bones. Anyways, so me and Alex go walking into the pool, 11 o'clock at night, because somebody's idea, I think Sheena, we blame Sheena. And I lasted like 23 seconds probably like, oh my God, like it was pain So I left. I couldn't handle. Alex stayed in there a little longer than me. Sheena stayed in there a long time. But I realized that, man, I think I got soft. Like my willpower, like when I was younger, like I nonstop sports, martial arts, like, and school. And somewhere along the lines, I think like maybe my mental fortitude like grew, but my tolerance for pain physically has gone down substantially. And so next year my intention is to focus on pain because I know there's lessons in there. And Layla, would you like to share your experience?
Oh, I lasted like 3.5, 4 seconds the first time. I got to my ankles
She's
and
like,
I was
oh
like,
hell no.
I don't know why anybody would do this. And then I tried again though, and I lasted like 10. So for all you ice bathers,
It gets better.
Yeah. What is the secret, Roderick?
Just make
How
it
do
through
we-
the first minute.
Okay, that's what everybody's saying.
First minute is hard, and then it's okay.
I was
But is-
like on the verge of tears, like actual.
Like, is there pain? You're supposed to feel that? Yeah? Damn, so I wasn't
If you-
prepared. If I knew that, maybe I would have stayed in for like 30 seconds.
10
Yeah.
minutes.
Dopamine and like
10
it's so
minutes.
good for you.
I
I
think
just need to know where the mentality is that you guys are like, I'm gonna be in this ice
for fun.
for fun.
3 minutes. That's the magic number. If you listen to all the gurus, they tell you. Oh,
But
Well,
why? What is your
they
why?
like, here's everything. It's
I
really
need that.
What is your why?
weird. Oh, that's your why. I want to live to 140.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay,
It's
I'm gonna
so
hang on
easy.
to that.
Yeah, they're saying there's people alive today that will make it to 140 with all. the
I will
lies.
never do that again. See, she won't do it again.
Layla, we're getting smashed in the comments right now. Like, this is,
I don't
we should
care.
not have disclosed this.
I will
I'm
never
okay
do 10
failing
minutes
at this
again.
challenge.
This is Chantel who said 12 minutes, or Tasha did 12 minutes. Bro, I should not have disclosed. It says
Like
leg bones
people's
burning.
first times, people's first times come like it's not even a minute, right? Like your first time,
Oh, okay.
right?
seconds.
like
It's hard.
yeah,
Oh, okay, so
it's
that's like
totally normal.
yeah.
Nobody, even
Good.
with all the preparation, nobody's like ready for the kind of mental state you have to be in to do that. I think it's mine. And then
Very
I did the sauna to cold bath to sauna to cold bath. Like it's pretty good. It's like a super good feeling. But yeah, having someone to talk you through it and like just stay there to calm you down and just push you, like having that voice.
Okay.
That helps.
Focus on your
Did this
breath.
all
I
wrong.
think I did a minute, like at the most a minute. I have a video of my very first time and I went by myself and it's like a place where you can go and do the sauna and that. And then the lady that was like the receptionist, she walks by and she's checking in and I'm like dying. I'm like, I'm really sore. Is this normal? Like, I feel like I see all these people going in there for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Why can't I do it? She's like, oh, that's normal. You can't do that on your first day. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sore. She's like, yeah, it's very painful. I'm like, okay. Nobody says that in all these videos. They all show like years of training.
Ah.
They don't show their first time.
I had, so
Yeah.
in college, I was, athletic training, sports medicine. We had that was one of the modalities, which was ice baths. And we did have to do it. And I remember doing it because I had to do it to pass a class, but I must have blacked that out. And we would have to put the athletes in these ice baths and I would talk so much shit to them. Like, this is so easy. Like, you guys want to be athletes, whatever, right? And then I'm aging myself, but 20 years later, I'm like, no, what was I thinking? I'm sorry to anyone who ever sat in an ice bath in front of me.
And I just have to say, like, the confidence that I had because I hit the river here all the time and it's a cold river. Like, hot day or not hot day, I can handle the river. I was like, I can do the cold bath. Like, totally. I do the river all the time. Yeah, no, you can't. And also there's cold baths that are like 50, maybe like 40 degrees and some that are 30 to 20 degrees. So I'm sure that that makes a difference. Rod, does it make a difference like how cold it is, which
They
will
say
reflect
you
how
want
long
it
you
at
can
least
stay?
48 is like the warmest you should have it.
Yeah.
48.
I think my first time was 39, like
Yeah.
when I did it. And
That's
then when
good.
I saw the temperature, I'm like, is the river 39 degrees? No, it's not.
No.
Well, the pool doesn't even have ice in it, so I can't imagine ice. Like, I just felt, yeah,
All right,
I felt
so
defeated.
rumor is that we're
I'll
supposed
be
to be
honest.
getting an ice bath here at the office. I propose that we
No, that's
we have
happening now.
ice
Like,
ba- a
I
ice
must
bath
conquer this. I felt like a coward.
gathering. We're gonna need Roderick and Tasha, 12 minute
Yeah.
Tasha there. Chantel, you're more than welcome.
Oh, so this is happening. We're getting the ice bath.
I'm not
Yeah.
buying it, but
So if you
Oh.
want, if you have $5,000, you can get the really good one. It's called Plunge. It looks like a big bathtub and it's got the motor and the filter already all in it. You don't have to do anything. It's sick. I
think
didn't
we're gonna
have
have to get down.
$5,000, so I just bought a chest freezer for $550. I ordered this little pump, and I'm just gonna clean my water myself, just so we can kind of get in the game. You know what I mean? And
Ah.
so from where you're at, I'm all in under 1,000, which I wanted to be. You know,
that's what Aiden did. He got a chest freezer and a pump.
He did it for like 600. I was like, oh, how about for the office? He's like, oh. But you know what? I think it's worth it. Like, it's a hard gig. Like, what we do. Like, we're in the office at 4. Like, we don't get much sleep. We redline all the time, and we don't eat the healthiest, because it's hard to eat healthy when you're on that schedule. And but we need to start correcting that. It's not sustainable, and it's not what it's all about. So what does it matter if we build a legacy and if it lasts for a short time? So
Right.
that's why we're building the gym. We're gonna get healthy and and keep building the business side. But oh, this is great. I got great information. Now I don't feel as bad. I think
I
we're
have to
okay.
say, oh, sorry. I have to say, you all sound like me walking to school in January and February.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
In
Oh,
Wisconsin. Literally,
no.
though.
Okay, never mind. I am embarrassed now again. The pool didn't even have ice. Come on, I'm a coward. I'm fixing this next year. No more cowardice.
Hey, Corey, before we run out of time, we are ready for our next deal. I
Okay.
really want to step up from these residential houses and move toward, multifamily, self-storage, RV park, something. I want that next level. What should I do? Where should I go? Who should I talk to?
Okay. One, you need to first identify, I think, where you want to play. Get what asset class would be best for you. This is going to be hard for me to say because I don't really know commercial. And the commercial space is taking a huge transition soon. It looks like it's a slow burn, but when it comes to multifamily, I'd say you want to look at markets that fit you, right? And that are emerging. So I would decide that first, like where and what
Right.
asset class. Is it going to be office space, which is kind of having a disruption, or retail, which is having disruption, or multifamily, which is kind of having disruption too, a little bit. Not so much, but I think in the future we might see a turn in multifamily. So whatever asset class fits you best and where you want to play, like what market you want to play in, that makes sense to you too. Because sometimes, yeah, it may not be the most ideal market, but that's where you have family, or that's where you have a network, or the market, right? So, or a team. And I would start with that first. And then I could see where perhaps we can help, you know. I like Vegas a lot, obviously. Vegas, if you're gonna stay in the small multifamilies, even some big multifamilies, that's a great market, I feel. Um, it is a transient market, kind of it's not a tertiary market, but it's a transient market, so it's not a primary market like, you know, LA or Orange County. So it is subject to the booms and the busts, but like if you're a savvy investor, like you want the booms and the busts because that's where the big deals are traded, you know. People are
Where do they
afraid of
get their water? Like, isn't water a huge factor out there in the middle of the desert?
yeah, I was actually looking into that too. And
Rates tripled, that's gonna make the house prices go down. So I'm just curious,
yeah,
do they have an unlimited water supply from pumping it
it's
in from?
definitely not unlimited. I mean, the water is a concern out there. Layla, do you know any, or does anybody else know like the latest? Because I know that this past year, like California got heavy rains, which basically filled a lot of the um or helped with a lot of the drought that they've been seeing, and filled tanks. And that does bleed over to Vegas, right? Because they share water. In fact, the water comes from Vegas, I believe, and then down to Southern Cal. But there is concern still with water out there, but honestly I think I think Vegas, like California, will run out of water before Vegas. um that's my thoughts. So if I had to place a bet, right, like it's almost like you got to see two major cities or markets go down because of water, like we're all screwed if that happens, I feel. So yes, there's probably risk of water, and hopefully that gets handled in the future. Otherwise, I don't know. Right now, like first, like you're not allowed to have grass in some areas. Yeah, it has to be like desert landscaping, or you get fined a lot, just like in California, to have real grass and be watering it. So, it is a concern, but Vegas is an emerging market. What else? I think the Inland Empire of Southern California is an emerging market, but you also don't get, it's kind of very similar to Vegas, but you don't get the volume I think that you do in Vegas, and you're in California. So um California is California, right? So it's definitely not a landlord friendly state. Neither is Vegas though, I think. Um, you know, from what I've been hearing, because Kiko has to deal with a lot of that. But um, what other markets? Does anybody else have any markets that they suggest for Roderick that you're watching?
Hey,
Washington's
Roderick.
great for Ben out there in Washington.
Roderick, I'm actually, I can't answer that question directly for you, but I would like to share with you a project that I'm doing on the Big Island of Hawaii. I'm building a post office box annex because
cool.
there's over 11,000 people south of Hilo that do not have home delivery. And I don't know if
Wow.
I've told you, yeah. And I'm going to put in
I don't think
4,000.
Roger goes on.
But I mean, this is a thought for you because I was going to do storage units. And I'm actually going to invite Amazon to put in boxes, UPS, and FedEx. They'll put in drop boxes and pickup boxes because
Smart.
there's a, yeah, and just, man, I'm in escrow right now with my land. And for me, my greatest gift is being able to give back to all these people who have to go into Kea or Hilo and wait in line to get general delivery. So, yeah, but I'm seriously considering, or it's a thought process of being able to do commercial recovery mail centers, but unmanned. Mine will be unmanned. And it's not like a UPS store or anything like that. This is all going to be done through FedEx, through UPS, through Amazon. They'll do the delivery and pick up, and the post office as well. But it's a thought, because if you can set up places where it used to be like a mailboxes, etc., But this
Yeah.
is open air and this is, there's a lot to it. And through my experience with UPS, I worked for UPS for 23 years, customer counter, I worked in the building. It's just something that I'm really passionate about because I understand the whole process and the way this whole system runs. But anyway, it's a thought, even to do storage units. That's my next project, or that was my project to begin with. But I just wanted to share that with you because it's a thought. If UPS and Amazon, and if you get to rural areas, it may be, a thought to put something like that in where people can go in and collect their own and drop off their own. If they can't get delivery, it's a thought. And I thought I would share that with you.
It's a great idea. And
Yeah.
the industry, and you probably have like next to no competition. So incredible.
Nothing. I have nothing for competition. Who wants to wait in line picking up general delivery? And FedEx and UPS and Amazon don't always have to deliver on time to rural areas. There's nothing in their contract that says I'll have this out Tuesday afternoon.
Wow.
Comes to rural areas, we'll make deliveries twice a week out to these areas. And I'm just trying to save everybody time, gas, and people being able to get what they initially are entitled to with delivery systems. So
they get it faster too. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. That's
Yeah.
such a great thing for the community. And it doesn't put a heavy load on infrastructure at all.
Not at
So-
all. My utilities will all be solar. I won't have water. Water's not going to be needed because my building itself is a pavilion, and it's going to be a cement foundation with cinder block pillars, a metal roof holding the solar panels up. And then it's kind of interesting because even talking with my lawyer, because his mom lives over there and has to go all the way to Hilo from Pahoa, which is, 20 miles. And she has to go to get her mail general delivery. And he told me, and this is what I've been advised by several people, this area can be a high crime area. So now I'm looking to not putting a fence around it. I'm looking into putting doors on the pavilion itself and then closing it up at night. Figured that would be a lot better than fencing the land. Just my thought process anyway. And then my real estate agent, her boyfriend, they're opening a security agency. So he's going to be my guy that I hire to take care of all this. It's just, I'm
That's
having
actually really smart.
I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's a labor of love. And I know I've said that before, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. And, it seems like it's just a walk in the park getting through it. Everything takes time. But
Yeah.
I'm an escrow. I
Lots
just
of
paid for,
cameras and Wi-Fi.
what's that?
You need lots of cameras and Wi-Fi so
Yeah.
that anybody can just monitor the entire property at any time. That will
Yep.
help so much.
Yep, in the works. That's on my project, my plans. Thank you, Roderick. I appreciate that.
Which
But it-
system are you going to use, like Ring?
What's that?
Which security system are you going to use, like Ring or something like that? Or have you done homework? Is there a better one?
You know what? I'm actually going to meet with someone when I go over there in January. My real estate agent is setting me up with her people and the security person that I have the cameras and everything installed with. I will meet with someone that she's going to recommend me to meet with. So yeah, I'm not sure who it's going to be, but I'll let you know when I'm not much closer.
Yeah. Whatever system you end up picking, I'd be curious to know, like, what is the best, newest one where the app is super easy to use. You can share access with the cameras to anybody quickly. It's recording, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
That one thing alone will just totally make or break your security system.
Absolutely. That's what I thought, and I'm really excited to learn about that too. I can research it all I want, but to talk to a specialist is a whole different ballgame. So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you for letting me share that.
Thanks, Tammy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice deal that you're in over there, commercial deal too. So
hopefully it'll just be my first one. You know, I'm
Nice.
at 2 other properties or other places that I would like to do that over on the Big Island.
Yep.
You know, everybody deserves a mail delivery, everybody. And
Mhm.
I just want it as easy as possible for them to get it.
Yeah. Well, I know we're a little over, but I wanted to ask Ben how Washington's market is.
It's about the same. You know, rates are
Yeah.
improving slightly, so I think that'll help. This is usually our slow time anyway.
Yep.
But for bigger deals, Washington is definitely not a landlord friendly state.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially Seattle. Seattle in particular is maybe one of the worst in the country.
Yeah.
Surrounding city is not quite as bad, but definitely not
Would you
a
group
very
it by
landlord friendly.
county? Like King County is like, okay, you're gonna have
Yeah,
trouble there.
yeah. I try to stay out of King County.
Yeah.
And I don't buy any rentals in city of Seattle.
Right. It's kind of like Hawaii. It's the prices are too high, and then
Yeah.
the regulation, everybody's
Oh, the regulation is crazy.
yeah. Seattle's same, man. Same like Hawaii, like California, pretty much all up the coast, the West Coast, right? Oregon. Well, Oregon, they're just. Is there anybody from Oregon? They just be weird, man, sometimes out there. And they take pride in being weird. So, well, yeah, Roger, if you find a good market that you're interested in, let us know. Keep us updated. And then next week, yeah.
I have a meeting next week with a real estate agent / broker who's in Mobile, Alabama, and we already have 2 properties in Huntsville, so I'm probably just going to target that around surrounding. I met him on Bigger Pockets. We're going to do a Zoom call on Thursday and like kind of come up with an off-market marketing plan and just get going. I got some construction guys out there that have been helping me keep up with the other 2 houses, so I have a couple contacts, build the team, might as well.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, Huntsville. I was been hearing of that market for a long time. Like I'm sure it's hot market. Yeah. All the space industry is moving there, yeah. Or they have the space like NASA has presence or NASA, SpaceX, all the big companies, right? Yeah.
Population set to double over the next 10 years. Like you
Wow.
can't find rentals out there, and they're building all over the place.
See, like that's the type of market you want. Maybe, yeah, that I think you got your answer. Then maybe it might be a little late, but so you got to make sure you buy right. But you can still ride that wave. It still takes like a decade, right, to get the full expansion. So if you come in halfway late, you still got a long ways to go, right? Like that's the beautiful thing about understanding the fundamentals. And me and Layla were talking about this earlier. Is that like with Jonathan Fujinaka with the insurance, he was in our office, and
I spoke yesterday.
yeah, love John. And but the thing is, like we're talking about, it's like 2021 was a nasty market, and most people don't even know. It's real it's real quiet. Everybody's bleeding and hurting if you bought it and in that market, like, or we're playing in that market, because even for us it's a hard market to sell in, and good crew was hard to find, and permits taking forever. So everybody's kind of got hurt through that market. But the beautiful thing is about understanding the fundamentals, which is what I feel new investors are I feel they're not getting served properly. They're getting sold instead of served. They're getting sold on stage. They come into, the industry and take huge risk, and they don't know the risk they're taking because they don't understand the fundamentals, right? Like the fundamentals of knowing what market to play in and why, like why is it that Huntsville is a great market, right? So because you can't lose there. You just can't. A market that strong and you catch it while it's emerging, you cannot lose. Like you gotta be really bad to lose there. Because in the worst case scenario, you just hold on and you're gonna be fine because you did your homework, you planned right. And yeah, maybe, oh shoot, we're negative cash flow, so we got to cover that. If negative cash flow is gonna sink you, then you probably lost a long time ago. You just didn't see it, So, but when you get into a market like Vegas, which is gonna emerge, and Huntsville that's been emerging, like it's very, very hard to lose. You know, obviously if you're flipping houses and you're going in just, you know, short-term trades, like it still can be hard to lose. Because like if you take a hit on a project, you can weigh options now. You know, maybe I just wait it out a little longer, you know, because I know I'm in an emerging market. I trust the fundamentals that I did earlier, right? So like I think it's important for us to remember that, especially
It's the-
you know,
Oh, it's the
when
insurance. The insurance
Oh.
is making my positive cash flow houses go negative. Because
yeah,
we're at the mercy of these guys, man. The one in Florida, bro, the thing went up 4 times what it was.
oh,
Quadrupled my rate. Never even had a claim, nothing, dude. They just boom. So it took all the profit out of the house. And I'm starting to see that in the other ones too. This house I'm sitting in, $900 a month in insurance.
oh. Wait, but that's the duplex still a month.
So if you guys got any ideas on how to hack this whole insurance thing, it's out of control. And you know, we have 7 or 8 policies. Actually, this house has 3 alone,
Right.
so it's even more. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, bro. If you got any ideas and somebody I could talk to, and Jonathan's the one that sold me the insurance on this one, I was just grateful to get it because nobody wants
Yeah.
to insure the damn thing because it's in a flood zone. It's crazy.
Right. I know, right? This doesn't seem right though. Yeah. I mean,
It-
maybe it's in the contract, maybe it's in their fine print, but it's like you can switch it up like that on somebody and basically kill their investment, kill their like their ability to sustain. So,
Yeah. Look
Um,
really closely at the insurance before you guys buy anything because
yeah,
it is a huge factor.
yeah. And I think it's just insurance companies are taking hits with the, you know, Lahaina, and then also in, you know, the natural disasters that happened in Florida. So
Yeah. They all have an excuse, but whatever with that, you know.
that's true, man. You signed up for this, like, you know, it's like, look, when stuff happens on our side, like we own up to it. We fork up the cash, you know. So when it's time for them to fork up the cash, it's hard. But
You guys have an amazing Christmas. You guys are
You
awesome.
too.
Thank you so much for showing up and
yeah, yeah.
being great.
Thanks guys for showing up too, you know, and I hope you guys all have a great Christmas. I feel like I'll be here next Friday because I like to, you know, it's the last Friday before the new year. So if you guys are able to, I understand it's holidays and stuff, but I'll be here to chit chat, talk story. It's always a good time. So thank you, Roderick. Appreciate you, brother.
Awesome.
Thank you, Tammy
Thank you.
and Bryson, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy
Aloha.
holidays. Aloha.
Mele kalikimaka.
Mele kalikimaka.